Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Lost Bomb Coder. Today we have got something special in store for you. We are going to show you how to create a fantastic registration form for your website. It will be stylish, interactive and a great user experience. So if and also we have added many animations in this registration form. So you can see when first animation is when when the input field will be on focus, there will be a neon glow effect, and when the user starts typing, the neon glow effect will come into breathing mode. Similarly, this effect has been applied in all four of the input fields, and also we have added some validations. As you can see, for validations we have added animation that is shake effect. When the user tries to register without filling all the necessary details, the container, as you can see, the form container will be shaking. So this is another animation, and basically we have used normal JavaScript validation, that is required type validation, and for email we have used regex validation, but we are not validating the passwords here, and also we are not validating the file upload field. So basically it's just a simple form with regex email validation and basic JavaScript validation. There is nothing high level validation. If you want more validation, you can add your codes in the JavaScript file. There will be no problem. So this is all about registration, this video, what we are going to build it. And also I have added the social media links. If you want to make it workable, you can add your codes here. There will be no problem. I will be designing all these necessary things, and you need to just add your code to link these fields. So this is all in this video we are going to learn about. So if you're ready, let's dive in. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when we post more web development tutorials. Now let's begin. Let's make the necessary files: index.html, styles, styles.css, and script.js. Okay, let's add the boilerplate. Registration form. Let's link our CSS, make it styles.css, and let's add our JavaScript file, script.js. Okay, so now let's begin. Let's give it a div and class container, add form. The action, we don't need action because we are not redirecting into something. Let's give it a class registration form, h1 registration form. Okay, let's add another div class. Let's give it a class name from group. Okay, let's add label for username okay. Let's add the input field. Input will be of text. Let's give it a ID, username, class username. Now we don't need class. Name will be username, placeholder value, enter your user name, and validation required only. Okay, one, two, three, four. Okay, let's make it for email type will be of email, ID will be email, name will be email, enter your email. Okay, it also be required type. Then after that it will be password, username, password, type will be password, ID will be password, name will be password. Give it a create a password. Then after that will be over there after it will be a file type. ID will be over there, name will be and there will be no placeholder value and no required field. Okay, now for password we are also going to add a button for show and hide, like to if the user clicks on show, then the password will be visible, and if the user clicks on hide, then the password will be on dotted form. I mean, the user will be not able to see it. So for that, let's add a button here, span class. Let's make it show password. Okay, and we'll be completing that function using JavaScript. So for that, on click method will be used. Let's give it a name, toggle password show. Okay, then after that we will be adding what is called social media buttons. So for that, let's create comment with a space, so it will be more readable. So again, make a div of class from group the label for social login. Register with social media. Okay, when use a div, let's give it a call id social login. Okay, then let's anchor tag ref hash. Let's give it a class name of so CIAL social BATTON. Okay, let's it will be Google, Twitter, Facebook, three, sorry, not four. Okay, after that let's add a button, give it a type of submit, and also let's give it a ID of register because we will be doing some validation in the JavaScript part. Register button register. Okay, so that's all about the coding of our this will be here. So that's all about coding part in HTML file. So let's dive into style CSS file. So let's begin. Body, font family, Arial, sans serif. Okay, background image URL. I'm using one image for background, and this image I have downloaded it from Unsplash. You can use any image. Background image depth. Okay, now back size, it will be of type of cover. Back position, it will be of center. Let's remove all the margins. Also let's remove all the paddings. Let's give it a display of flex. Let's justify the content in center. Now align items center and give it a height of 100 VH. Okay, so we are going in our final, we are marching towards small steps towards our final version. So now let's design our container. Let's give it a background color. Background RGBA. First value will be 0 255. Sorry, 255 0.9. Okay, let's box shadow 0 pixel 0 pixel 20 pixel 0 pixel. RGBA, first value will be 0, second value will be 0, second value will be 0 0.2. Okay, let's give it a padding on all sides of 20 pixel. Let's give it a border radius of 5 pixel. 5 pixel. Now let's make it 10 pixel. Now it's looking better. Now let's give it a width of 450 pixel and text align center. Now for these values of pixels and RGB values, color values, I have already tested in my code and I felt that this is okay for me, so I have used these values again here. So if you want to change something about pixel values or color values, you can tweak these values. There will be nothing such problem. Okay, so now let's give it our form flex, give it a display of flex, and flex direction will be of column. Okay, now let's form group. Let's design our form group. Let's give it a margin on top 10 pixel, top bottom, and left right 10 pixel. Okay, text align of left. Okay, now let's design our these labels. So label, increase at first, increase our font weight, give it will be bold. Okay, let's give it a color #333, adding a text shadow 2 pixel 2 pixel 2 pixel RGBA RGBA. I will be using these values. Okay, so now let's design our input fields. Input, give it a width of 100%, add a padding of 10 pixel on all sides, give it a margin on top and bottom 5 pixel, but in left right 0, border remove means none. Let's give it a border radius of 5 pixel will be good, I think. Yeah, 5 pixels is good. Background RGBA. I will be using this value, but just a little bit of change in the alpha value. And let's give it a box shadow and 2 pixel, 2 pixel, 5 pixel, and RGBA value of this one. Okay, now for input fields, as I have told earlier also, we will be adding some neon glow effect. So for that, let's add some commenting here. Neon, adding neon, glow effect with transition. Okay, let's give it a outline of none, transition, let's give it a box shadow, duration 5 seconds, is in and out. Let's give it an animation. Neon, give it a name of neon glow, 1.5 seconds, alternate, and give it infinite. Okay, we will be defining this and neon glow in a little bit. Let's design our buttons. Give it a background of linear gradient to bottom right. Let's give it a 4CA F50 dash 45A 847. Let's give it a color hash FFF. Let's give it a padding of 10 pixel, border, remove all borders, border radius, let's give it a border radius of 5 pixel. Let's make our cursor pointer and let's add some transition. Background 0.3 seconds. Transform 0.2 seconds. Okay, now let's some animation for button hover. Button hover, let's give it a background linear gradient to bottom right, hash 45A hash 4C. Okay, let's add some animation. Give it a name of shine, duration 1 second, infinite, and will be in alternate. Transform scale 1.05. Okay, Now let's define our shine animation using keyframes. Shine, um, 0% background, linear gradient to bottom right, hash 45A8 hash 4C AF0. Okay, 100%, and we will be reversing these values. Hash 45. Show password, cursor pointer, this here. We will be designing this button. Okay, let's give it a color, hash 3498 dB, and add some padding on all sides of 5 pixels. Okay, yeah, it's good. Now let's add here our from group position relative. Okay, so after that let's do a little beautification on our avatars. Input field, give it a border of 1 pixel, make it a solid, and give it a color. Okay, let's add padding of 5 pixel on all sides and give it a border radius of 5 pixel. Okay, yeah, it's looking nice now. Not nice, it's great now. Let's design our this social login. At first let's design our social login. Okay, social login, ID, sorry, this social login. Okay, let's give it a display of flex. Okay, justify content, make it center. Okay, now give it a gap of 10 pixel. Yeah, that's fine, 10 pixel is enough. Now let's design our social button. It's class, so dot. Now let's give it a background of hash 34. I'll be using this color only. Let's make the text color white. Okay, give it a padding of 10 pixel on all sides. Now let's remove all the borders. None. Now give it a border radius, so it will that sharpie edges will be removed and it will look nice. Let's add cursor pointer. Okay, it's working now. Yes, and let's for this underlines To remove these underlines, we will be using text decoration, and we will remove every text decoration. Sorry, it's not remove, it will be none. And after that, let's align our text in the center and give it a flex value of 1. Okay, yeah, it's looking nice now. So now let's code our in neon glow effect. So I will be adding some comments here, it will be better. Neon glow effects for the input field when in focus. Okay, input dot focus, let's give it a box shadow 0 0 10 pixel. Let's use RGBA 0 0 255, and for alpha value let's give it 0.7. okay, here's a transition box shadow 0.5 seconds is in out. Okay, wait for it. Now we'll be adding neon breathing effect. For the input field when typing. Okay, input dot typing, let's give it a box shadow 0 0 15 pixel RGBA RGBA. I will be using this value, but no, let's use this only. No, make it a little bit higher. And now animation will be of, let's add and give a name, neon breathing 1.5 seconds is in out and infinite. Okay, let's define this animation using keyframes. Neon breathing, okay, 0%. Let's give it a box shadow of 0 0 10 pixel, and let's give it a RGBA value. I'll be giving this. Okay, let's give it a 50% box shadow. Let's make it 15% and let higher, and for 100% box shadow will be 10% again, and this. Okay, that's all. we will be giving these animations, active these animations by using JavaScript. So as you can see, there is no animations now. So now let's add our last animation, that is shaking effect. Adding shaking. Animation to the container. Okay, shake animation, give it a name of shake 0.5 seconds. Okay, now let's define our shake animation using keyframe. That is the name we have given, shake. Now let's 0% transform translate x 0. Okay, let's just copy it. Okay, let's for 25% translate x by minus 10 pixel. Okay, let's for 50% translate x by 10 pixel. And for 75% translate x by minus 10 pixel. Not 75, now 100% translate x by again 10 pixel. Okay, 0 minus 10, 10 minus 10, 10. Okay, so this is all about our CSS file. Now let's jump into our JavaScript file to make these animations work. So let's begin. First of all, let's get all input elements. Let's store constant input FILS input fields with document dot query selector all input. Okay, let is typing equals to false. Okay, now let's add a function apply neon breathing effect input dot class list dot add typing. Okay, here will be just adding this typing when the input when the user will be entering something in input field. This function will apply the breathing effect let's give it a comment line function to apply the neon breathing effect. Okay, similarly we need another function to remove neon breathing effect. Class.lead remove. Okay, now let's make an event listener for all our input fields. Input fields dot for each input first of all let's add in event listener for focus when the input will be in focus. So input dot add event listener, what we want for focus. Let's if is typing, if the user is not typing, then we will be applying simple neon glow effect. So input dot class list dot add focus. Okay, let's give it a comment line here. Event listener for input focus. What I'm doing here, apply neon glow effect when the input is in focus. Okay, so now let's just copy this one, because we will be needing same for to remove this effect. I mean, when the user is in focus, then only this effect will come into action, and when it's removed, as you can see, this input box is now not in focus, it's on. The user removed his cursor from the input field, so but still now the glow effect is there. So we want to remove this, and for this to remove we will be using blur. In place of focus we will be using blur. So input blur blur. Okay, add event listener for blur is typing. We don't need any validation, we just want to remove the effect. So class list dot add remove. focus. We want to remove our focus. Let's add a comment here. Remove neon glow effect when the input loses focus. Okay, add so let's action. Now you can see when the input field is in focus, there is a neon effect, and when it's not in focus, the effect removes. Okay, so now let's code for breathing effect, neon breathing effect. Event listener for input blur. Okay, input dot add event listener with a blur okay. Sorry, this will be a input. Okay, so here first of all we will check if the user is typing or not. If is typing, then make it true. Apply neon breathing effect, true. Okay, apply neon breathing effect when the user starts typing. Now for similarly we are also removing these values when the user is not typing. So why here is blur? Input typing and event listener to detect when the user is not typing. Okay, it will be now blur is typing. We will remove this checking. Is typing false. Remove neon breath effect. Input. Okay, remove the neon breathing effect when the user stops typing. Okay, let's just check it. It's in when it's in focus, so the breathing effect is not there. Let's start typing. Still it's not working. Let's see where we have done some mistakes. Is typing false? Remove neon breathing effect, true. Input, apply neon breathing effect. Oh, here it will be input, not true. So now when the input will in focus, you can see it's not breathing, it's just in static mode. Now when the user starts typing, you can see it's come into breathing effect. Okay, when the user removes his focus from the input, from that input field, you can see all effects are gone. Again, when the user brings the focus on that input field, you can see that glowing effect comes, but not breathing effect. Breathing effect only comes when the user starts typing something inside the input field. Okay, let's check for all the fields. Yes, it's working here also. Yes, it's working here also. Now let's function our this show button. Let's comment it here. Function to show and hide password. Okay, function toggle password. Okay, this function we have only used here, na? Yes, toggle password. Okay, let's make it a constant password FIELD password field, document dot get element by ID password. If password field dot type equals to password, then password field dot type equals to text. Okay, document dot query selector dot show password dot text content equals to hide. When the user clicks on show, the password will be showing to himself, but the show text will be changed into hide, because after showing he or she might want to hide that. So for that, again we need to, for after hide, when the user clicks on hide, again the text should be appear as show. So let's do that also. Else password field dot type password, document dot query selector dot show password. Okay, dot text content equals to show. Okay, So let's just here, as you can see, it's in hide mode. When the user clicks on show, it's came to visible, and when the user again clicks on hide, it's again come into show hide method. Okay, now let's add some validations. First of all, we need to final animation, that is when the user clicks on register field, this container should shake, and we will be adding some validations in the email field. So let's code that part. Let's add some comment here, get the register button and the container. Okay, constant register button. Okay, document dot get element by id register button. Const container document dot query selector dot container. Okay, now first of all we need to check all the functions. To apply that effect, we need to check all the fields are required fields are filled or not. So let's add that in comment line. First function to check if required fields are filled. Function are fields filled. Okay, const user name document dot get element by id username dot value. Okay, similarly we need for email and password also, because these are required field. Password, copy paste, copy paste. Okay, so after that let's just return all this. Username not equals to blank and email not equals to blank, password not equals to blank. Okay, now let's a function for email checking is valid email. Constant email pattern. Let's add rejects pattern. Where is the box? A small a to z, capital A to z, 029 dot underscore hyphen, okay, plus @ it will be of small a to z, capital A to z, 0 to 9 number, dot and hyphen. Next, plus / dot small a to z, capital A to z, length of 2,4 dollars, okay. So return email pattern dot test email, okay. Now let's add event listener for our register button. Register button dot add event listener. When the event listener will come into on click, now if R fields filled, then only get the username and email, okay. Const username document dot get element by id, username dot value, okay. Okay, email so basically we will be displaying all username and email after successful registration, so that's why we are storing these values. Now let's check the email. If is valid email, now first here we will be we are getting the username, email, and username and email to that will be showed in the alert box after a successful registration, so that's why we are storing these values. And also we are checking the email, because if the email is not sometimes what happens if the user skips the email, sometimes what happens if the user types the name here, types name here, and when it shows and without entering a correct email, if this happens and user as you can see, when the user just put @ it's still the register button works. So just @ is not the valid email. After @ there will also be something. So for that reason we will be validating the email here. If after validating email is invalid, show an error message. Alert, please enter a valid email address. Return. Here we will prevent further execution of the code. Email is invalid. Why we are doing this, because as I have shown earlier, without entering a valid email address, that actual some letters @ some letters .com or that dot value, that is the full email address. So without you entering that full email address, if we just enter some letters or some alphanumeric values @ and then we try to register it, as we have shown earlier only, it successfully submits. So we are preventing that here. So that's why we are using validation of email using the regex format, using this format. So this is the actual format of email. So if the validation of email is true, then let's display an alert message with a success message and the username and email. Alert registration successful. Username $username email $email. Okay, now after that let's clear all the input fields. Document dot get element by id, username dot value, okay, email value, password value. Okay, where is this? If this all logic will be applied if the fields are filled, and if the fields are not filled, then we will apply the shaking effect. So let's add comment line here. If required FIELDS fields are not filled, add the shake effect class to the container dot class list dot add check. This effect we have created in the CSS. Okay, then remove the check class after the animation completes. Set timeout. It's and definition here, and there is container dot class list dot remove to remove check going to remove 500. This 500 means 0.5 milliseconds, which matches the animation duration. 0.5 seconds, which matches the animation duration. Okay, let's see in effect. It's not in action. Let's see where we have mistaken. Register if R fails. Register button that add notification, click if fields are filled. Okay, then else container dot where is the container query selector. Okay, add check. Register button, type submit. Container class list dot add check. If all fields are filled. It will be value. Paste. Now you can see the shake effect, and now you can see validation is not working. Let's see that again. Function is mail valid const email pattern test email. The rejects value is okay. Is here will be not. Okay, yes, it's working. You can see it's working. Now you can see it's showing up alert box message showing please enter valid email address. Now if we just enter the address at the rate, then also it will not submit. So 123.xy. now you can see it will submit. You can see registration successful, username email @123xy. Now when you click on OK, all the input fields will be cleared. Okay, animation, because I have not used, I forgot to use, yeah, that animation part is not using, as you can see, because I have told you that now we will be designing this neon glow later on, but I am not using this, so this is not in action. So adding here, we will be just adding transition for glowing effect. Okay, yeah, it's working fine. It's in breathing mode. When it's out of focus, again gone, came. Okay, writing, it's in action. Okay, that's all. Now, yeah, it's complete. So that's all. After, as you can see, after submitting this, so after submitting the form, we use JavaScript here in this. What is the summary? So here, after submitting the form, we use JavaScript to check if all the required fields are filled and whether your email is in the correct format or not. And when everything looks good, we just submit the form and clear all the fields, input fields. Okay, so that's all. That's how create a stylish registration form with HTML, CSS and JavaScript with animation effects. But remember, the possibilities are endless. You can tweak and customize the values to customize it to suit your website's unique style. So that's all in this video. Here we have built a beautiful registration form using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. We applied some animations, effects with JavaScript and validations with JavaScript. Yeah, that's all in this video. So to access the full code and detailed instructions, head over to our Medium article, where I will be posting all these CSS, HTML and JavaScript codes. You can copy it from there and use it on your own project or on your own websites. Feel free to use that, and if you want to tweak any values, you can use that also. So that's all in this video. If you are passionate about web design and animation, click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We have a treasure trove of web design tips, tricks and tutorials heading your way. So thank you. Have a good day. Goodbye.